We have reconvened from our closed session, and I have the following report out. By a 5-0 vote, the City Council authorized and directed the City Attorney's Office to defend the case of Pretty Man versus the City of Elk Grove as identified by the case number on the City Council meeting agenda. With that, we will adjourn the special meeting at 6:05 p.m. And that brings us to our regular meeting. I would like to call to order the Elk Grove City Council regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, January the 24th, 2024. It is 6:05 p.m. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. This meeting of the Elk Grove City Council will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. The meeting is closed caption and webcast at metro14live.setcounty.gov. Tonight's meeting replays will be on Friday, January 26th at 1 p.m. and Tuesday, January 30th at 6 p.m. on Channel 14. Previous meetings can be viewed online at the 3ws.elkgrovecity.org or youtube.com/MetroCable14. For members of the participating audience who may have personal electronic devices, please place them on silent mode during the meeting or on mute when you are not speaking. Elk Grove City Council welcomes, appreciates, and encourages participation in the City Council meeting. City Council requests that you limit your presentation to 3 minutes per person so that all present will have time to participate. The City Council reserves the right to reasonably limit the total time for public comment on any particular notice agenda item as it may deem necessary. Pursuant to Resolution Number 2010-24, no individual speaker concerning public comment may address the City Council for more than 3 minutes. If you wish to address the Council during the meeting, please complete one of the blue speaker cards, which can be found at the back of the chamber and provided to the Deputy City Clerk prior to consideration of the agenda item. With that, Mayor, I will be moving into the roll call, and for the roll call, I will be starting with Councilmember Robles.
Present.
Councilmember Spies.
Present.
Councilmember Suen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Brewer.
Present.
And Mayor Singh-Allen.
Here.
And we have all 5 members. We're ready to go.
All right, thank you. Next up is our land acknowledgement. Would our Vice Mayor please read the land acknowledgement?
Certainly will. We honor, respect, and acknowledge Elk Grove's first inhabitants, the Plains Miwok, who lived as sovereign caretakers of this land and these waterways since time immemorial. We commemorate and advocate for their descendants, the Wilton Rancheria tribe, the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County, who endure because of the bravery, resilience, and determination of their ancestors, tribal members, and leaders.
All right, thank you. Would you please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, and would Councilmember Robles please lead us?
Hand over heart. Ready? Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, please join us for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Next up is our approval of the agenda. Before I make some announcements, I would like our city attorney to make an announcement.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just read a statement into the record. The city has reached a settlement in principle with the applicant for the Oak Rose project, which would involve relocation of the project to an alternative site in the city outside of the Old Town Special Planning Area. The settlement is not yet final. The details and formal settlement documents are still being prepared and finalized. In order to provide time for the finalization of the settlement and the settlement document, staff requests that the City Council take no substantive action on the project scheduled for tonight, but rather again continue the matter to the regular City Council meeting of February 28th, 2024.
Thank you, sir. All right, for the approval of the agenda, there's 2 things that I want to note here. One is, can we get order in the room, please? Thank you. Consider the closed session items of the regular agenda after council comments at the end of the agenda. And secondly, note that the intent of item 8.2 would be to continue this item to the February date described by our city attorney. So with that, may I get an approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item.
That'll advance us ahead past Section 3, which is moved to the end of the agenda, to Section 4, our presentations and announcements. And I'm just going to take a brief pause. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, we are having a few technical difficulties with our agenda management system. And so it's experiencing some lags. And so we will be doing some verifications as we get speaker slips and things of that nature. But I just wanted you to be aware, if you look up on the screens, they may not be the most accurate of which item we're on. So we're having some issues with those. But without further ado, we will move into item 4.1, which is the new hire introductions.
All right. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, Jason Behrman, City Manager. We always enjoy coming in front of you and presenting our new hires as well as those employees that have been promoted in the last quarter. So we'll go ahead and start with our Police Department. Assistant Chief Solomon, I think, is going to do the honors.
Staff and community, I get the pleasure of introducing our new employees for last quarter in addition to promotees. First up, we have forensic investigator Jessica Ford. Jessica was hired on October 10th. Jessica was raised in Antlers, Oklahoma. She earned her bachelor's degree in forensic science and psychology and her master's in general forensic science from the University of Central Oklahoma. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked as a crime scene investigator with the Oklahoma City PD and Midwest City PD. While away from work, she enjoys hiking, swimming, and spending time with her family. Thank you, Jessica. The next new hire is not here today. That is just one more. It's dispatcher Gianna Rosales. She was hired on November 6, 2023. Gianna was born and raised in Sacramento. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked at In-N-Out Burger for approximately 8 years and was a manager at Dutch Brothers for approximately 4 years. While away from work, Gianna enjoys photography, thrifting, and volunteering at her church. Now, Athena, you can come up. Sorry about that. This is police equipment and supply technician Athena Heinlein. She was hired on November 6th. Athena was born and raised in Elk Grove. She is currently attending Sacramento City College, where she tends to earn her degree in psychology. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Athena managed a yoga and wellness studio for approximately 2 years and worked for 2 years as a 911 dispatcher for Sacramento Regional Fire. While away from work, she enjoys doing yoga, reading, spending time outdoors, and making arts and crafts. Thank you, Athena. Next up, we have 911 call taker Catherine Labato. She was hired on November 6th. Katie was born in San Diego and raised in Elk Grove. She attended a small Bible college in Hungary and continued to CSU Sacramento. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Katie was a stay-at-home mother to 3 children and coordinated weddings part-time. While away from work, she enjoys traveling, hiking, and listening to history and true crime podcasts. Next up, we have police records technician Jennifer Baraga. Jennifer was hired on November 20th. Jennifer was born in San Francisco and moved to Sacramento when she was 16. She graduated from Valley High School and continued on to study at CSU Sacramento. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Jennifer worked in the dialysis field for 13 years. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. Next up, we have animal care assistant Riley Brown, who was hired on November 20th. Riley was born in the Bay Area and raised in Sacramento. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked at the Placer SPCA in Roseville for 2 years and worked as a veterinary assistant since last January. Riley loves training and handling animals even when she's away from work. Welcome, Riley. Next up, we have Officer Scott Hart, who was hired on November 20th. Scott was born in Minnesota and grew up in northern Wisconsin in the small town of South Range. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, he worked for the Galt PD for approximately 6 years. Scott also served 13 years with the U.S. Army. During his military career, he was deployed twice to Afghanistan and was an air assault soldier. Welcome, Scott. Next up, we have animal care assistant Erin Keast, who was hired on November 20th. Erin was born and raised in Folsom. She earned her bachelor's degree at CSU Chico. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Erin worked as a veterinary assistant at Chico Creek Animal Hospital. While away from work, she enjoys playing video games, drawing, and baking. Welcome, Erin. Next up, yes, we're getting there, is administrative assistant Monica Ochoa, who was hired on November 20th. Monica was born in Palm Springs and raised in Tracy. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked for a mortgage company for approximately 3 years, and prior to that, worked for a real estate agent for approximately 5 years. Welcome, Monica. Next up, we have registered veterinary technician Cynthia Yabanez. She was hired on November 20th, 2023. Cynthia was born and raised in Sacramento. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked at the Sacramento SPCA for almost 23 years. While away from work, Cynthia enjoys taking day trips with her husband and reading. Welcome, Cynthia. This is Police Officer Kelly Maldonado, who was hired on December 4th. Kelly was born and raised in Elk Grove. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, she worked for Galt PD and worked as an officer for the Cal Expo and State Fair PD. Kelly used to be a competitive horseback rider and trainer. Welcome, Kelly. This is Officer Brian Sufikingham. He was hired on December 18th. Brian was born and raised in Sacramento. He graduated from CSU Sacramento with his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Brian worked for the Sacramento Police Department and Yolo County Sheriff's Department. While away from work, he enjoys playing recreational sports. Welcome, Brian. Next up, we have Animal Care Assistant Cynthia Parker, who was hired on December 20th. Cynthia was born and raised in Holland, Michigan, and moved to Sacramento 7 years ago. She is currently completing her degree at Sacramento City College. Prior to joining Elk Grove PD, Cynthia worked at PetSmart for approximately 3 years and volunteered at cat and dog rescues. While away from work, she enjoys painting, singing, and dancing. Welcome. Now we'll move on to our promotions. Our first is Animal Care Specialist David Verdugo, who was promoted on October 22nd. David joined Elk Grove PD on February 27th, 2023. Prior to his promotion, he worked as an animal care assistant. Congratulations, David. Here we have Arctic analyst Andrea Cortez, who was promoted on November 5th. Andrea joined Elk Grove PD on May 9th, 2011. Prior to her promotion, she served as an Arctic specialist. Next up, we have Arctic specialist Andrew Sharma, who was promoted on November 19th. Andrew joined Elk Grove PD on April 15th, 2018. Prior to his promotion, he served as a community service officer assigned to the Arctic. Appreciate it, man. Here we have Officer Jacob Russo, who was promoted on November 19th of 2023. Jacob joined Elk Grove PD on September 12th, 2021. He graduated the academy on November 16th and is currently in the field training program. Welcome. This is Sergeant Brandon Hawley, who was promoted on December 3rd. Brandon joined Elk Grove PD on June 6th of 2006. Prior to his promotion, he served as a senior detective in our investigations bureau. Currently, he supervises graveyard patrol. Congratulations, Brandon. It's Lieutenant Jared Perez, who was promoted on December 17th. Jared joined Elk Grove PD on June 15th of 2006. Prior to his promotion, he served as a sergeant in our traffic unit. Currently, he manages B-side patrol in our operations division. Congratulations. Mike. This is Sergeant Michael Wynn. Mike joined Elk Grove PD on January 19th of 2020 and was promoted on December 17th. Prior to his promotion, he served as a detective in our investigations bureau. Congratulations, Mike. This is Officer Alexis Juarez, who was promoted on December 24th, 2023. Alexis joined the Elk Grove PD on June 5th of 2023. He graduated the academy on December 21st and is currently in the field training program. Congratulations. And our last one is Officer Zachary Upshaw, definitely not the least. He was promoted on December 24th as well. He joined Elk Grove PD on May 22nd of 2023. He graduated the academy on December 21st and is currently in the field training program. Congratulations, Zachary. And that's it for the police department.
Yeah. Madam Mayor, if I can make one quick comment.
Please.
So if you could let Officer Hart know that Councilmember Robles and I saw the moment of the Army professionalism that was trained into him because he hit that position of attention before he went out to parade rest. So we saw that. So good on you, Officer Hart.
Hi, everybody. You've all met Emilio Camacho. He is our newest senior deputy city attorney in the city attorney's office. Emilio comes to us from the Sac City city attorney's office, where we lured him over here. He was over there for 8 or 9 years.
About almost 7.
Okay, close enough. Before that, he was chief of staff of a commissioner for the Energy Commission, and before that, he was with the Office of Leg Counsel as a deputy legislative counsel. Emilio is fluent in both English and Spanish. He joined us in October of 2023. He's a skilled musician, particularly when it comes to guitar. We're very excited to have him in our office. Thank you very much. He got his degree, his law degree, and his undergrad degree from UC Davis. And so he's with us now. We're very proud to have him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
I gotta do it again, Mayor. Can I
Go
have
for
one
it.
quick second? So, John, so now you have a drummer that's in the legal office, and you have a guitarist.
Yeah.
You have a bassist, or are you putting
Do you
putting
play
together a
bass?
band?
Do you play bass? We're putting together a garage
I
band.
could never make it to be a lawyer, so I wouldn't want to, so.
We'll work on it.
Okay, all right, thanks. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm pleased to introduce Nathan Bagwell. Some of you may recognize Nathan.
Welcome back.
He's our budget manager. Yes, indeed. We're excited to have him back. Nathan has over 15 years of public service, 10 of which have been in local government. He served as a budget analyst at Sac State for nearly 5 years and was here at Elk Grove as a senior budget analyst for 8 years after that. He left us to go to be the director of admin services with the city of Auburn for 2.5 years before returning to Elk Grove. He's super excited to be here. We're excited to have him back, and he looks forward to engaging in the budget process for such a diverse and forward-looking city that offers many amenities and has lots of exciting projects going on. So we're excited to have Nathan back.
Yeah.
Council member, you have anything?
Sorry, I'm going to fix the mics. It's my job. I am so excited tonight to share with you that we have an internal promotion from one of our IT groups to another. This is Keegan Henry. He joined the police department IT group in 2018. He worked over there as an IT analyst, made significant contributions for our Arctic development, the animal shelter, and just supporting our officers on a daily basis. And I'm very excited because he's joined my group now across the street, and he's going to be working on our ERP systems, report writing, and doing a ton of SharePoint development. So if you're familiar with ElkNet, Keegan's guy is taking care of all of that. He graduated from Sac State and worked in the private industry as a systems administrator before he joined us here in 2018. And he loves to stay up to date on technology. He's a little bit of a hobbyist. He has quite the keyboard collection at home. You should ask him about it. So thank you and welcome, Keegan. Yep.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I've got Troy Jones here. He was hired October 23rd of last year. He was born and raised in the Sacramento area. His hobbies are the gym, if you can't tell, health, fitness, and wellness, unlike me. But for about 14 years, his background was mostly in landscaping and construction. He knows a few code enforcement officers that encouraged him, and it sounded like a great profession for him. He loves his new job as a code enforcement officer. He loves the city of Elk Grove. In fact, I think during your interview, you called it your dream job. Yeah. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, I love the passion.
Yes, sir.
Welcome aboard. Good. Next up, we have Aaron Gill. He was hired with the city on December 18th of last year. Born and raised in San Jose, California. Lives in Elk Grove the past 2 years. He grew up playing football, soccer. Originally wanted to become a firefighter, but grew a larger interest in law enforcement. Wants to continue a career in public safety. Chief, if you're listening, you may have a future. And he was a community service officer for the San Jose PD for 4.5 years. So welcome, Mr. Aaron Gill, to the family.
All right.
And then finally, we have a promotion. He could not attend. He's in training, but Brandon Smith, he was born and raised in Lodi, California, graduated from Lodi High. He worked for a nonprofit for several years and then got into the facilities department at the city of Lodi for 5 years. Then he came to the city of Elk Grove into our facilities department and decided to get into a career of code enforcement in providing the best service to our clients. So this is impressive. He has a hobby of powerlifting. He's been training for powerlifting for 2 years, has competed twice. At his most recent competition, he squatted 546, bench 440, deadlifted 634 pounds for a total weight of 1,620 pounds.
Wow.
So, yes, he's an animal, but he's a teddy bear. So, welcome or congratulate Brandon Smith on his promotion. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here this evening to present our new hires and promotions for the Public Works Department. First up is Jose Gomez. He's a senior civil engineer in our drainage section. Jose has a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in civil engineering from the California State University of Fresno. He has 18 years of experience in the engineering industry, including spending the last 14 years with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers before joining Elk Grove. While at the Corps, he was the chief of levee safety and oversaw the planning, design, construction, and operations and maintenance of flood control projects in the region. So we're very fortunate to have Jose here in Elk Grove, leading our drainage section and these efforts for our community. Jose, his wife, and 2 kids are Elk Grove residents and enjoy riding their bikes and hiking. Welcome, Jose. Next, we have Mohammed Sadiq. He's a senior civil engineer with our capital improvement program section, or division, I should say. Mohammed comes to us from the city of Stockton, where he spent nearly 10 years performing design, construction management, and project management on capital improvement projects. He is an alumni of CSU Sacramento and has recently relocated to Folsom. Mohammed enjoys spending time with his 2 sons and being outdoors in his free time. He has been assigned oversight responsibility for 2 critical capital projects, the library relocation, as well as the Old Town Streetscape Phase 2. So he's getting to know our historic downtown district well, and I have no doubt he will deliver these great improvements to our community. Welcome aboard. Next, we have Josh Martinez. Josh is a maintenance specialist assigned to the Operations Streets Division. Josh works with traffic devices in the city and has become a master at creating street signs in the sign shop. He comes to us from the city of Sacramento, where he worked as a traffic worker. Josh graduated from McClatchy High School and currently lives in Sacramento. He enjoys golfing, spending time with his family, especially taking walks through his neighborhood. His favorite sports teams are the Dodgers and Sacramento Kings. We are excited to have him aboard. Welcome.
Half of them is good.
Next, we have Brandon Coldaway. Brandon joins the Recycling and Waste Division as our residential recycling coordinator. He brings unique expertise to his new role, having spent the past 5 years working locally for Republic Services, so he knows our city and our services well. He was a sustainability advisor. Brandon is an avid outdoor adventurist with an extensive background in natural resource management and sustainability. These skills will certainly serve him well in his new role. He spends his time outside of work with his wife, toddler son, and newborn twin daughters. Please join me in welcoming Brandon.
Hey.
Next, we have Songin Wu. Songin started his position as an assistant civil engineer with our capital improvement program on December 11th, 2023. He is a Sac State alumni with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. Prior to joining Elk Grove, he worked for the city of Vacaville in the utilities division for 6 years, where he designed small public works projects, provided support to water and wastewater operations, and managed facility construction. He is an Elk Grove resident. He is passionate about serving his community, and outside of work, he enjoys spending time with family and friends, playing computer games with his daughters, and his family also enjoy road trips and photography. Welcome, Song. Finally, we have our lone promotion. Lori Ochoa comes to us from the IT department. She joined the Public Works Operations team in her new role as Senior Administrative Assistant. She is new to Public Works, however, she's been with us for almost 2 years. Again, formerly she was with Administrative Assistant with our Information Services group. She is grateful for the opportunity to take on new challenges and contribute to another facet of our great organization. Lori and her family have lived in Elk Grove for 16 years, and she spends her free time boating on the river or Folsom Lake. Lori is a great addition to the Public Works admin team, and we are grateful to have her. Congratulations, Lori.
All right, well, congratulations to all of our new hires and our promotions. For those that are new to our city, welcome. We're so blessed that you've picked Elk Grove as your place of employment. I love the diversity that we saw today. That was wonderful And congratulations to all those CSUS Sac State alums. Singer's way up. Thank you. So next item, please.
That'll take us to section 5, public comment.
All right. We have a few folks signed up to speak here. The first, it is my pleasure to welcome to the city of Elk Grove, Mayor Oscar Oliverio Gomez Duarte. And Mr. Oscar Ocon, if you would like to join as well. The floor is yours, sir.
Honorable señora alcaldesa de la ciudad de Elk Grove, honorable Consejo Municipal de la ciudad de Elk Grove. I'd just like to take a minute to thank you, every one of you, for all the support and help the wonderful city has given us in our town, Concepción de Ataco, which is your sister city. So I just, this has been a short trip, but I have a wonderful news for our town, as always. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. And I know as a mayor, I know that you also have a great team in the city hall. So I'd like to thank you all and every one of you also for this great job that you do in our sister city, Elk Grove. Thank you very much. And God bless every one of you and your family.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we do have certificates of recognition for you, since we weren't able to connect with you this morning. So we'll come down right there. If I can get everyone to join.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me.
Como le dije, muchas gracias por venir. Disculpa que no me dijeron saber que estaba aquí si no hubiera sido una cita con usted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe journey home.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Safe travels. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
A la próxima, ya saben, nomás, no, la próxima no nos dejan. Me echan una llamada.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up is Beatrice Morales, and then followed by Beatrice is Michael Monowski.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilman members. My name is Beatrice Morales, a carpenter out of Local 46. As a union carpenter and a proud resident of this beautiful community, I'm standing before you tonight to champion the importance of a livable wage, accessible health care, and prioritizing local hire, as well as a commitment to apprenticeship programs. First and foremost, I want to talk about the livable wage. I can only begin to explain what it means to me. As a lot of other people, I come from working for lower wages in life. And when my opportunity to join the carpenter apprenticeship came, it not only changed my life, it gave me a chance to have a family and properly provide for my family. Coming from a parent of a child with autism, accessible, affordable health care is not a luxury, it's a basic human right. As we work hard day in and day out, we should not have to worry about the financial burden of medical care for ourselves and our families. As for apprenticeship programs, they are the lifeblood of skilled trades. These programs offer hands-on training, mentorship, and a pathway to a fulfilling career. To speak about the change in quality of life for people like myself and many others that have worked for low wages, and to have the opportunity I was given through the carpenter's trade apprenticeship, well, let me just say that I believe this is the heart of our working community. Our council needs to, at the very least, bring this pre-qualification language to this table. Additionally, local hire is of paramount importance. Many of us call Elk Grove our home, and it should be a place where we can live and work. Commuting long distance for work not only takes a toll on our well-being, but also contributes to traffic congestion and has an environmental impact. By prioritizing local hire, we foster a strong sense of community and reduce our carbon footprint. I asked Elk Grove City Council to champion pre-qualification language. I ask you to take a proactive approach to support local workers by ensuring a livable wage, accessible health care, apprenticeship programs, as well as local hire. I truly believe in setting a standard for our community, whose working hands help bring our city up each day. Deserves to say at the least, thank you for your consideration and your time.
Thank you. Next up is Michael Monaski, followed by Lynn Wheat.
I bring my concern about item 8.1 to the City Council early, this off-agenda public comment period before the agendized item is heard, because it would be too late to do so after staff presentation of the item when public comment is allowed. In a news conference yesterday about retail theft in Sacramento County, the mayor declared that she is the president of the American Petroleum and Convenience Store Association. Her constituents are convenience store owners. Her organization aims to support and offer members a platform for legislative representation, education, leadership, collective buying power. That's from their website. Participation in that part of the meeting for the mayor constitutes an ethical conflict of interest for the mayor because the applicant could be a member of the mayor's organization. Therefore, the mayor should recuse herself, leave the dais, refrain from comment, and not vote on item 8.1. Otherwise, the mayor is in violation of ethical norms for the city council. Insofar as being the president of the association, she appears to support the applicant's business interest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Lynn Wheat.
Good evening. With the demise of Project Elevate, at the previous meeting, I brought up a new concept, and I'd like to explore that a little bit further with you this evening. So one of the ideas that I brought up was having a senior park. And we have a lot of seniors within our community, and this is close to where the senior center is. Well, I found some potential funding to make that happen on a portion of that 20 acres. I received notices from Sacramento County, and the notice I received the other day was in reference to grants that AARP offers. And so with working with the Senior Center and the city and CSD, we would have a potential for getting one of their flagship grants, and it would make this park happen for us, because what they're looking at, and one of the points in the grants, is creating vibrant public places that improve open spaces, parks, and access to other amenities. So our senior park would offer the equipment that seniors would feel comfortable using, and also it would meet some of the requirements of an AARP grant. I hope that you will look into this. I most certainly am willing to reach out to our Economic Development Department with some of these ideas and the funding available to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wheat was our final speaker for public comment, so I will close the public comment opportunity and go on to our next item, item number 6.
All right, good evening again. Several items to report on this evening. First of all, the city is currently accepting applications from local nonprofits for programs, projects, and events planned in fiscal year 25. Technical assistance webinar was held yesterday to assist prospective applicants. A recording of the webinar is available and can be found on the city's website. Volunteers help create a long-lasting and positive impact on our quality of life. Nominations for the 2024 Stars of Service Awards, which is the new name. It's formerly known as the Mayor's Volunteer Award. It's now open to recognize those individuals, businesses, and organizations that serve our community. Visit the city's website to review the categories and submit a nomination by February 29th. City and Sacramento Steps Forward will conduct the 2024 point-in-time count of people experiencing homelessness in Elk Grove tomorrow night, Thursday, January 25th. This work is essential to secure annual funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We want to thank the community volunteers who have registered to assist with this event, including several council members that will be helping with the event tomorrow evening. The online application period for the 2024 Elk Grove Regional Scholarship Foundation will close this Friday, January 26th. High school seniors may be eligible for a variety of scholarships offered through this process, including the city's $1,000 scholarship. Visit the Elk Grove Regional Scholarship Foundation's website for more information. Finally, the draft environmental impact report, the EIR, is available for review on the zoo project by the community online at elkgrovecity.org/zoo. The city will host a meeting on Tuesday, February 6th at 6 p.m. in the council chambers to receive public comments. Public comment period is open through February 20th. And that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions that the council might have.
Sorry. Any questions or comments for our city manager? Seeing none, thank you. Thank you for your report. Next up is our consent calendar. At this time, I would like to open up the public comment opportunity. I do not see anyone signed up for consent. I will close the public comment opportunity and ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great. Next item, item 8.1, and before you begin, I would just like to make the comment that the property is not a member of the American Petroleum and Convenience Store Association. You may continue.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. Joseph Dagaman, Associate Planner with Development Services. The item this evening is the Bond Road Extra Mile Determination of Public Convenience or Necessity. Tonight's project consists of a determination of public convenience or necessity, also known as a PCN, to allow the Bond Road Extra Mile Convenience Store to obtain a Type 20 alcohol license from the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control. The Type 20 would allow for the sale of beer and wine for off-site consumption. The project site is located at 9299 Bond Road on the northwest corner of Bond Road and Waterman Road. The site was approved by the City Council approved the project on March 24, 2021 to construct a Chevron fueling station with an extra mile convenience store and an attached car wash. Construction is nearing completion and they are set to open in the very near future. Here is the floor plan that was submitted by the applicant of the convenience store. The areas highlighted in orange represent the areas where alcoholic beverage are going to be displayed and sold. On the back corner of the convenience store, there's going to be a beer fridge, and then there are two small display shelves, one next to the beer fridge and another one behind the cashier. So why we're here this evening for the public convenience or necessity. ABC requires that an applicant obtain a PCN when the establishment is located within a high crime area, which is a crime reporting district with a 20% greater number of crimes reported than the average number for all districts, and or when the census tract is deemed over-concentrated by ABC standards. The city is separated into 26 subsectors for crime reporting purposes compiled by the Elk Grove Police Department. The project site is located within subsector 3106. Based on the crime statistics provided by the police department, this subsector is not considered in a high crime area, as the crime is actually less than the average number for all of the districts in the city. This project is located in census tract 93.14. That census tract, any more than 3 licenses is considered over-concentrated. There are currently 4 active licenses in that census tract. I will make note that the extra mile convenience store on Elk Grove Florin Road, a PCN was approved by the City Council on December 8th of 2021 to upgrade from a Type 20 to a Type 21. So they currently have 2 licenses. One is ultimately going to be surrendered. So that would reduce it down to 3. This license request would be the 4th one for this census tract. The City Council determines whether public convenience or necessity will be served by the issuance of an alcohol license for the applicant's premise based on the following factors. Number 1, the proximity and the number of other retail outlets selling alcohol. Currently, the closest retail outlet selling alcoholic beverages is the Bond Market on Elk Grove, Florida, which is approximately 1 mile west of the project site. Number 2, the proximity of retail outlets to schools, playgrounds, and other facilities serving young people. The Pleasant Grove High School is a little more than half a mile away to the east of the project site, while the Van Dorn Park is just about half a mile to the southwest of the project site. Number 3, the proximity of retail outlet to residential neighborhoods. This gas station was approved, or the gas station convenience store was approved within close proximity to residential neighborhoods. There is per state law, the sale of the beer and wine would be limited until 2 a.m. And then number 4, whether the retail outlet provides a wide range of desirable goods and services or a unique goods or service. The approved use, which is the gas station, the convenience store, it allows for customers to fuel their vehicles and purchase essential grocery items while reducing the number of trips they might otherwise need to make. The Extra Mile convenience store sells snacks and non-alcoholic beverages and serves as a small format grocery store for the immediate community. Similar grocery stores and convenience stores are nearly a mile away to the west and 3 miles to the east. So the Extra Mile convenience store would provide a unique service to this neighborhood. The applicant notes that approval of this PCN would offer customers the convenience of fueling their vehicles while purchasing a limited selection of beer and wine, along with other groceries in a one-stop shop atmosphere without the need to travel elsewhere. Based on the reviewed data, the location of the business and the operating guidelines that the business has presented, approval of the license will likely not result in an increased calls for service. The police department has determined that there's no public safety reason to oppose either a finding of the PCN or associated ABC license application. Finally, the applicant has committed to implementing ongoing training on security, safety, deterrent strategies to discourage loitering, facility maintenance and operations, responsible sales of age-restricted products, accident prevention, and workplace safety. Just for the record, we haven't received any written public comments, but I did receive one. I did speak to a resident over the phone. They've voiced their opposition and concerns over this PCN application, so just putting that on the record. In terms of CEQA, the project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15061B3. This is the common sense exemption. Staff has determined that granting this PCN will expand the services at the convenience store, but will not bring any physical changes to the environment. So tonight, staff is recommending that the City Council approve the PCN that you've heard this evening. This concludes my presentation. Staff is available. The applicant also has representations this evening. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will declare the public hearing is now open. I believe our council member, you have a question?
I do have a question, Mr. Dagamon.
Yes.
If you could go back to the slide of review of PCN. One more.
Yes.
Okay. When we were in item 3 and we were talking about the proximity of the retail outlet.
Sure.
I don't know if I misheard or if you misspoke, but it was relative to the restriction of sales before 2 a.m. or you said before 2 a.m. Did you mean after 2 a.m.? Or did I just hear? I want to make sure that I
Sure. So for this license request per state law, they'd be allowed to sell between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 a.m. So that 4-hour time frame between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. they're not allowed to sell.
They're not. Okay. Yep. Right. I didn't think I heard that right, so I just wanted to make sure that I did. But,
Okay. No problem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will invite up the applicant to speak.
Good evening. I'm Leslie Burnside with Bark Housing Consulting Engineers. I'm representing the applicant. I also have who is here tonight as well in the audience.
Ryan Ranchod, pleasure to see you all this evening.
So Ryan is a part of the group that owns and develops the station. I'm sure you're aware of that. We don't really have a presentation for you. We're just here mostly for questions. This is a very responsible operator. We provided a security plan that goes into photometric levels, training, processes for when those 4 hours a day when the sales are not allowed to happen, things like that, the ongoing training. So we're not going to get into that here. I think it's a lot of information that tells you this is a very responsible operator. He currently has 7 convenience stores that he operates in California, and he's been doing this for 33 years with a very clean record at the ABC. So if there are questions that I can answer, I'm very happy to, as well as the people that are here with us.
Thank you. Anybody have questions? All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
At this time, I'll go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity, and welcome back, Mr. Manaski.
Well, Madam Mayor, I'm surprised you didn't hand the gavel over to the Vice Mayor. When you spoke yesterday, you spoke as if you were the mayor of Elk Grove, and you are the mayor of Elk Grove right now, but you first announced that you were the president of the American Petroleum and Convenience Store Association. And that seemed to be the reason why you were there. That was the reason why you were invited to speak, not because you were the mayor of Elk Grove. And I don't know at this point whether or not the applicant is a member of your association. There's a 1 chance in 4 that he is, because there's something like 2,000 members and 9,000 such convenience stores in the state. But that really doesn't matter. What matters is the appearance, you know. This is an ethical question, whether or not you should be sitting there and overseeing this. It's an ethical question. And it means that I don't have, if you had simply stepped down, you would have had 4 votes here and this would have just gone through. But no, you chose to stay up there and defy the definition of ethics that I've always been told about professionally, and when also as a volunteer, whenever I've been required to undergo ethics training. So I don't understand what you don't understand about this, and why you're still sitting there, and why you haven't gotten up and said, well, you know what, maybe Mr. Manaski is right. Maybe I should get up, you know, because he's right. I am the president of this association. Now, I don't hear anybody else on the dais saying that I'm right, so I assume that all of you agree with her, that if you had the same kind of association with a business group, and that business group had an interest before you, that you would not say, oh, you know what, I'm employed by them, and I can't really, I have to recuse myself. I have to get off the dais, I have to not make any comments on it, and I have to not vote on this issue, and then I'll come back and, you know, everything will be copacetic. But it's not. It's apparently this council is confused by this, or unwilling to move. And I don't hear anything from your legal counsel either, and I don't trust legal counsel anyway, because when we've had these questions before, they've just blown it off. So you're blowing off the people, is what you're doing. Not just me. I mean, I think a lot of people are really frustrated with this.
Thank you, sir. Your time is up.
And I know my time's up, but I can tell you this. I think you live to be able to say that your time is up.
Thank you.
And it's unethical.
Okay, thank you.
No, I don't think you're really
Sir, your
glad.
time is up.
Yeah, I know.
All
I know
right,
my time's up.
then please. All right, thank you. We're going to continue.
I could have spent 3 minutes up here and not said a damn thing and just
Okay,
pointed
your
and said,
time is up, sir.
this is unethical.
All right, thank you.
No, it's not all right.
Thank you. All right, would the applicant like to provide any closing comments?
No, I think we're good.
All right, thank you very much. Well, at this time, I will go ahead and declare that the public hearing is now open and look for a motion unless you have additional questions. All right.
Move staff's recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. All right, item 8.2, as you know, has been continued.
Well,
Mayor,
we could have a
But we can
motion.
yes.
Yeah, please.
And we do have a member of
yes.
the public that did sign up to speak on this item.
Okay, very good. All right, then I will go ahead and open up the comment period for that. And Ms. Lynn Wheat.
Good evening. This won't take long. As we have touted transparency within our city, I hope whatever comes out of this on February 28th in the negotiations and the settlement, that we as taxpayers of Elk Grove know the total cost that this comes to for all of us. That should be made public, not held behind some legal mumbo jumbo, but that we ought to know what that's going to be. Thank you.
All right, nobody else has signed up to speak on this. I'll go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and get a motion to continue this item to February
28th.
28th.
So moved, but I thought we made that motion earlier.
No, that was just direction that was coming.
It was just a statement of intent so the public could know that's what you plan to
Yeah.
do.
Okay, well,
This is the
for
formal.
this, so moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have our, let's see, item 9.1, receive an update on city council priority projects.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council members. I'm Ash Kumar with the Strategic Planning and Innovation Department. I'm here with a receiving file item for you that will provide you with updates regarding the City Council's priority projects. So this stems from the City Council retreat in March 2023 when the Council adopted the mission, vision, goals, and priority projects. We come to you every 6 months, and today's update covers the reporting period for July 2023 through December of 2023. And as a refresher for the audience, we will go over the mission, vision, and goals. The city's mission statement is to provide exceptional services that enhance the quality of life for our residents and promote a thriving economy in an efficient and cost-effective manner. The city's vision statement, Elk Grove prioritizes a superior quality of life for all that builds upon the community's diversity and heritage through safe, welcoming, and connected neighborhoods with a variety of residential, educational, and employment choices and amenities that create a sense of place. The city's goals. The mission and vision are supported by 4 goals listed here with individual icons. The first one is it's a vibrant community and sustainable economy with diverse businesses and amenities. The second one, a safe and resilient community. Third, a high-performing and financially stable city government. And the fourth, a city with infrastructure that meets its current and future needs. Each goal is further enforced with 4 to 6 supporting statements. So there are 30 projects that have been deemed as high priority. These were, again, adopted to support the mission, vision, and goals that we saw earlier. And as mentioned again earlier, these updates are provided twice every year. So this update would cover everything through December of 2023. The topics are organized into 5 topic areas: civic amenities, transportation, community development, community safety, and city operations. So as you know, we will not be going over all 30 projects as they are at various stages of completion, but we'd like to highlight a few of them tonight. The first one So we began design development for the relocated Elk Grove Library branch. The design development started with Group 4 architecture in May of 2023. You are seeing the project timeline from a meeting in October 2023 on the screen. Bidding is scheduled to begin in June 2024 with construction anticipated to begin in September 2024 and will last for about a year. The next one, the proposed new zoo in Elk Grove, which also got a mention from the city manager. The schematic design work for the proposed new zoo was completed, and the draft environmental impact report was released for public review earlier this year, January 5th of 2024. A community open house on the latest design plans was held on November 4th of 2023. Next, staff also continued coordination with the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission on station design and construction. The commission executed the purchase and sale agreement with the property owner at the proposed station location in September 2023, and it's scheduled to close in early 2024. Staff continued implementing programs that address homelessness in Elk Grove. The adopted FY 2024 budget contains over $2 million in Measure E funds for several homelessness initiatives. A winter sanctuary serving up to 30 people per night opened on November 1st, 2023, and will run through March 31st of 2024. As of mid-December, the shelter was full. A motel voucher continues to be available for families with children. Also, the city added one homelessness services navigator, and a second navigator is expected to start next week. Next, we continued working on citywide telecommunication or broadband improvements. A report on digital equity was presented to the City Council in September 2023, and directions were provided to consider a market study on potential implementation options. Staff is currently developing the scope of work with a partner. Staff also continued efforts to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion within the city government and the community. Some major achievements included the creation of a land acknowledgement, standard staff training, voluntary inclusion of pronouns in signature blocks, and we continued DEI staff team meetings as well as resident diversity and inclusion commission meetings. Efforts are ongoing, and one item to note is that this project will never be at 100% complete. Staff will provide a comprehensive update to the council in the next month, in the next month's meeting. Yeah. This is a project we are all really excited and proud of. Staff developed and implemented a continuous improvement training program for city staff, which provided staff with the training tools and resources to make data-driven decisions and improve service delivery. The first cohort of the Always Improving Mindset or AIM Academy training program occurred in fall of 2023 and resulted in 12 staff trained in innovation and continuous improvement techniques. Cohort 2 is planned for spring of 2024, and we are all really excited. That concludes the presentation this evening. Staff is available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, I will go ahead and open up the public comment opportunity and call up Ms. Wheat.
Good evening. I want to thank staff for the wonderful report and the update and just all their hard work and dedication to our city, to making our city vibrant. One thing that I did want to talk about in evaluations or progress reports, when we've had a priority on our list and that particular project doesn't pan out as we anticipated, I think that that should be included in the update too. And I'm speaking of Project Elevate. So maybe at that time the staff could suggest where we're going to go or what possibilities we have in the future, or just ask you for some possibilities. Where do we move another of the 30 priority projects up ahead since Project Elevate has dropped off? What do we do? And so in any good organization, I think that you give yourself the accolades for the good jobs you've done and the work you've done, but we also have to look at what haven't we done well, and how can we improve that strategy too. And so again, I thank staff for their hard work. I appreciate the website. I've been to it, and even though that this wasn't a good time to go over all 30 projects, possibly update the website to show what percentage or where we're at on the project, because some of them are like 5%, 10%. Like the White Lock interchange is still very in the early stages, and I know that I went to meetings for the White Lock interchange 15 years ago. So maybe some updates on some of those things that are still at a standstill would alert the community to really what's happening with some of, in particular, our roads and the traffic. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wheat. And that is our final speaker for this item. I will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity. Questions, we'll start to the left. Councilmember Swin.
Thank you, Mayor. I just also want to commend staff on all their hard work. We got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of projects brewing, and it's really a testament, I think, to the dedication and passion of the city team and all their consultant team. When you look at everything that's going on here, we've got projects that did, whether it's the Aquatic Center or District 56 or the Preserve, all these things that have been great successes, and I look forward to these coming to completion as well. I'll just say a quick thing about Project Elevate, since it was brought up by the community. It's not dead. It's fully alive. You know, we had multiple partners or people that were interested, and so just because the first one, we decided to part ways. Staff's working full speed ahead, and I'm confident there'll be a positive update in the future. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor, any questions, comments?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Ms. Kumar for the report and the work that city staff has done based on the projects we have. And I like where everything is, because some things are still in their infancy stages, which is fine. We're not meant to turn everything over overnight or do it within 5 years. Some projects take a little longer to implement. Some projects take a little longer to get deals executed. Some take a little faster. But I think a lot of that is based on timing. It's based on focus. It's based on what we have in front of us that allows us to make things happen in the manner that they're supposed to happen. And I think some of these things, yeah, you see some things that are below 50%. But who knows what happens tomorrow? We may catch fire and things move a little quicker in the process. But I think that's what happens when we're doing the work for the taxpayers, for the cities, in trying to make a safer, vibrant, full, robust community. Some things were meant to be done in a crock pot. They weren't meant to be put on a skillet to be done overnight. And so what we do, we stay the course. We keep working, we keep talking to each other, we keep working with our partners out there that are helping us making these projects happen, because that's what's going to allow us to bring to you the services and the attractions and the businesses that the city deserves, that the taxpayers deserve. And that's all I have to say. I think the report is fair. I think it's good. And we just continue the course. And you never know. 2 months from now, something may catch fire, and one of these projects moves a little faster. That's a good thing. But at the same time, we shouldn't be discouraged if we're not moving as quickly as we have been, for whatever reason that may be. But thank you for the report, and thank you for all your work. This is, like I said, this is not easy work, but it's good work, it's rewarding work, and it's solid. We're doing the work of the people, so thank you.
Councilmember Spieth.
Yes, first I'd like to thank you, Ms. Kumar, for the report. I really appreciate it. And of course, it's a 50,000-foot view of what's going on. There are many, many people that are making all of these things happen and so much more that didn't make to the presentation. I'm most happy to see the update on the library. I'm excited for that to get moving forward in a couple of months, and I'm also very happy to see an update on the homelessness efforts. It's a very important effort. It's important to the voters. It's important to the residents. It's important to us. And Council Member Suen and I are keep in touch with that very frequently through the homelessness task force. And there's so much that Sarah's been doing, Hymeno, Jack, a lot that has been going on. And so I want to make sure that we thank and recognize them for a very difficult endeavor. And tomorrow night being the point in time study, and I'm glad for the community volunteers that are coming out to help that point in time study being done. I think it's likely that our point in time count will be higher this year than in past, and I hope that's simply because we have a better, accurate reflection of it. I understand there were some challenges with data collection 2 years ago, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Although, the outcome is not something I'd like to see, but I really want to see a very accurate vote, so I appreciate that. And lastly, I think, one of the things that I think we can take out of there is maybe a request to ensure that the status of where those projects are is updated. That's, I think we can scrub that website and make sure. What's difficult in those from a program or a project management perspective is sometimes percentages are, I wouldn't want to say subjective because they are based upon some mathing, right? But I think let's just take a look at it and make certain that the website does properly reflect. So, and that's it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Robles.
Thank you, Mrs. Kumar, for the presentation. A lot of things going on in Elk Grove. Super excited about it, and can't wait to see what's going to come. 2024 is going to be a good year. So as we target and as we attempt to finish some of these projects and as we attempt to hear more on what we can do to provide. So excited about this year.
Thank you. Excellent staff report. It's always wonderful to see where we are with our priority projects. We had the privilege this week to share this great information with Congresswoman Matsui and today Senator Ashby's office on where all of our great projects are at. And both of them congratulated the city for all of our great work on innovation and so many other areas. So just again, thank every staff member that's in your respective departments for getting us here. And thank you again for this great staff report. So this is just receive information. Thank you. Next up is our council comments, reports, and future agenda items. I'll start to the right. Anything to report, sir?
Nothing to report, Madam Mayor.
Library meeting tomorrow.
Good times.
Yep.
Councilmember Suen?
We had our regional SAN board meeting today, and the effort continues to merge into one district. And then I was officially sworn in as vice chair of SACOG.
Awesome. We saw that. Congratulations. Vice Mayor, anything to report?
Along with Councilmember Spees, Sacramento Public Library meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the county chambers.
No committee report, but just to, I already mentioned it in the previous agenda item, had great meetings with Congresswoman Matsui's office, as well as Senator Ashby today. So thank our team for putting those presentation kits together. They were dynamic. And so we have some really good material as we go out into the community, check with staff. We have a really nice new brochure that was literally hot off the press this week. So great information to share with our constituents. Thank you for that.
I have my first meeting, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
for the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District. It's tomorrow at
9 a.m.
So
all
I'll
you,
be
darling.
there.
all
be
you.
there.
All right. And now we're going to go to our closed session item, correct, before we adjourn. So we will, and then I'll need to come back and report out. Okay, very good.
Just real briefly, we don't have anybody sign up from the public for the closed session. So I'd open that, look to our audience and close the public comment. And then those two items are 3A, public employee performance evaluation for title city manager, and 3B is conference with labor negotiator for unrepresented employee, the city manager. Those are the items.